everyone, how's it going? Today I want to show you how to build a remote control cardboard aeroplane. So depending on what you have around the house, this design could cost you as little as absolutely nothing. It shouldn't cost you more than $5 in hardware. The design's really simple. If you follow along with the video, there's very clear step-by-step instructions. You can implement your own little modifications as you go, but I can assure you this design is quite good as it is. It flies really well. I've included some footage at the end of this video so you can actually see this thing in action. So without further ado, let's commence. Right, so there's your basic hardware. You've got some scrap wood, so thin sheet of balsa wood, a hardwood dowel, some Velcro, steel push rods. You can just purchase some steel rods and put these little bends in them. Control horns, mine are fiberglass, but you can make these out of wood. Coat hanger wire, you'll be using that to make landing gear. Wheels, if you don't want to buy wheels, you can maybe just use the lids off a Coke bottle or something like that. Pencils, knives, obviously, to build with. And a large cardboard sheet, which is the main piece. You can use Depron if you like. That would make it more expensive, but this will work just fine. And some of this foam, which is normally packaged with boxes like that. So yeah, I pull that out of this box. I will use this in the build, so if you've got this lying around, good, we're going to use it. And some hot glue. So you want to cut out a perfect circle. It's going to be 75 centimeters in diameter, and probably the easiest way to do that is to stick a pin in the middle of the cardboard, get a 37.5 centimeter piece of string, attach a knife to the end, and trace a circle around the cardboard using that knife. So place some outside tension on that knife, and don't try and cut the whole piece out using the first pass. Try and score the cardboard and go around a few passes. So the next thing that you want to do is get something straight. I can't find my ruler, so I'm going to use this and draw a line right down the center of the piece of cardboard against the grain. You should already have a dot down the middle because of that little needle that you poked into the middle, so just use that as your guide. And it doesn't have to be exact, but try and get it as precise as you can. And do this on the bottom side of the wing, so mark whichever side you want to be the top and then draw the line on the bottom. And then what you want to do is mark 20 centimeters from the trailing edge of the wing. So that's roughly there. And draw another line that goes with the grain of the cardboard. And it should be perpendicular to the line running down the center. And these will be your flappy bits, so the elevons. Then you want to mark out roughly about 5 centimeters either side of that center line. And that's about there. 2 centimeters either side of the trailing edge. And just connect those dots. And these are your flaps. Next comes the rudder. It's 25 centimeters in diameter. It's a perfect circle, just like the wing. Draw 2 lines down the rudder perpendicular to one another, and 5 centimeters from the bottom of the rudder, mark a straight line that's perpendicular to the line running down the rudder. You're going to cut that little segment out. Once that's done, you want to grab your knife and score the center line where the rudder hinges onto the vertical fin. You don't want to chop the rudder all the way off, you just want to score it enough so that you can get an unrestricted side-to-side movement. Next you want to draw up the 2 sides of the fuselage. Measurements are on screen. One that seems to be missing though is the overall height of the fuselage, and that's 7 centimeters per side. As for the curve, use the leading edge of the main wing as a guide to trace in that curve. And that's the result. Going over to that foam that I spoke about earlier, you want to cut up two pieces that are the same size, 6 centimeters by 4 centimeters by 3 centimeters, and you also want to cut up a firewall / motor mount which is 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. And last but not least, one long rectangular piece of cardboard which is 3 centimeters by 75 centimeters. And you'll hope that yours looks something like this. Before you jump into mounting the wing, get a rolling pin and roll the first 20 centimeters of the leading edge of the wing. Mark some lines down the center of the wing, line up the fuselage and glue it all together. Do take time with this step. Before mounting the ailerons, measure 10 centimeters down the inside trailing edge of each aileron and out the inside trailing edge of each aileron, and chop those two little bits off. And use some tape to hinge the ailerons. Glue the rudder and vertical fin in with some hot glue and reinforce that with some scrap cardboard. And finally install your chosen hardware. So there's your motor, there are your servos. Quick little tip, if you want to eliminate flex in the push rods, get some spare zip tie, cut off the ends, guide the push rods through the ends of those zip ties, and that'll keep the push rods in place. Stick around for flight footage. See?
Yeah.